Life is full of challenges, and the enemy that you need to defeat in your life is ego. Yes, you heard me right, ego. You spend so much time on all the other things and fail to pay attention to the little details of life, like telling the people who matter most that you love them. See that you are busy with work, busy looking for money, fame, the desire to succeed. And it makes you pay very little attention to these people who you are working so hard for. These people you want to make happy, enjoy your success with. And in turn, you push these people away. They also build their lives, or they also grow without you there. And even at some point when you need help from them, you fail to ask that help. Maybe because probably your ego makes you look down on them. Hey, and looking down on other people, you can actually check the description for the previous video on looking down on others. But back to my point, where your ego clouds your judgment about asking people help. Let me use myself as an example when I met with Gordy. You know, this Gordy's a good guy. I don't know if he'll let you see his face maybe in the video. I don't know. But yeah, when I met with him, this was after how long? About 8 years of losing contact with him. This guy, I grew up with him. We've been friends since our kidhood or childhood. Okay, so I met with him after so long. But prior to that, I had seen Gordy on Facebook. He was in the UK taking pictures and having fun with friends, family. So you know, when I saw the photos, I said, wow, Gordy is successful now. This guy's a big guy. I mean, I'm getting a bit too emotional, please. So I just sent him a message that, Charlie, Ghana is hot. You need to come and take me from here. And during that time, I was also working with an airline in Ghana. I was cabin crew. So I actually took a picture from the cockpit. So everybody who saw the picture actually thought I was a pilot. So Gordy also stumbled on that picture on Facebook, and this guy was also shouting that Benjamin Asamoah is a pilot. This guy is more successful. You know, on the other side, I was also thinking Gordy was more successful. And so after a long time, 8 years I said, I met with Gordy at a program, a gaming tournament in Trade Fair, that's in Labadi in Accra, Ghana. So we met, and he actually even, he had seen me earlier, but he said he wasn't too sure if it was me. And so later when, you know, I also saw him, Charlie, was a good time. You can imagine seeing your best friend after how long? Almost a decade. So we actually were very, very happy. And imagine if I put myself ahead of him, or if I was only thinking about myself. Now I'm going to brag, Charlie Gordy, what's up? I've made it, I have this, I have that. Well, I know I don't. While I know I need help. And this is what most of us actually go through. This is what happens to most of us. When we see our friends, family, we want to give them the impression that we are successful. But what is success? Success is actually being able to share what you've gotten with other people. And as I say, this is entirely my opinion. If through you somebody else is able to climb up the ladder of social status or educational status or whatever status, I think it's something you can be proud of when you help another. And that's success for me. So yes, I met with Gordy, and of course I didn't put my ego ahead. So I talked to him about my needs. I told him I love to talk to people, meeting people. And so I thought of a show that I wanted to come up with, but I just didn't know how I was going to do it. And this guy was the perfect guy for the plan or whatever discussion that we had, where he also had a similar plan or similar need, where he's into videography and the camera thing. He's a technical guy, yeah. And so we talked, and we came up with something substantial, something good. A show where we address real life issues on relationships, where we give advice. We used to call it Heart Matters. And now it's evolved to life. And this is where we are today. So imagine that if I put my own self ahead of God, or I didn't tell him about my needs, I don't think I would be sitting here today talking to you. And also, it's because of you. Yes, you watching me. I'm here today because some of the experience that I've had in life, I feel that if I share with you, it will help you. And I'm sure yours will also help me through the comments that you give me in the comment section. So your ego, I see that every day where people actually have offended you and it's hard for them to say sorry. It's hard for them to say thank you. Even with this show that we do, like people seem to comment so negatively. All that they see is the negativity in what we do. It's hard for them to say, Charlie, good work, or give some form of constructive advice. Maybe it's because of their ego. It's hard for them to appreciate what we are doing or what another is doing. All that we get is negative comments. Charlie, what you're doing is not good enough. If you have done this, if you have done that. But guys, ego is actually the killer in disguise. Because the more you talk down people or you talk people down, the more they get discouraged and lets go of their dreams. So for me, it's been some journey. It's been quite a journey. I'm not so old, I'm not too old, and I don't have all the experience, of course. I don't have all the experience, but I can share the little that I know with you. And of course, you can also share yours with me so that I learn as a person. But our ego is something that we don't talk about. And even a lot of people don't even know about ego, but it's actually something that exists where it's difficult for you to say thank you, sorry, I love you, because probably you feel better, or I don't know, something that you have that they don't. It's just something that you don't see, but it really exists. So for you watching, you can assess or judge for yourself what your ego is doing to you. It's letting you lose important people in your life, because if for them you don't pay attention, they'll find happiness somewhere. Maybe because you're too busy, because you feel so big to probably tell them that you care or ask them for help. Because even if you ask people for help and invite them into your life, but you can't do it all alone. You can't grow all alone. It takes two to tango. So for you watching, I would advise that, of course, everybody should have an ego. At some point, it protects you. Your ego protects you, where people don't take advantage of you. So of course, there's always a good side to life. To life as well, or to the bad things that we talk about. But do not let it take control of you. Do not let it affect you and your relationship with people, especially the people who matter the most. So try and defeat that enemy we call ego. So yes, after meeting up with Gotti, coming this far, for the first time in my life, I felt a sense of accomplishment, a hope, and the desire to surge on, to go higher, to progress. And this was as a result of the fact that I put away my ego. So imagine that I let the ego take control of my head. I probably would not be here sitting today. I'd be wallowing, looking for purpose or something to do. So for you watching, I'm sure that you can take a bit of advice or encouragement from what I've said. That when you meet the people who matter most, like I'm not saying that go around telling everybody your needs, like you're begging people. No, that's not what I'm saying. there are people who matter most in your life. And these people actually form a part of your success or your success. Like when you get something, you share with these people. So if you don't involve them in your life, they will eventually move away from you and probably get their happiness or comfort from somewhere else. Inviting the people around you into your life, telling them if something went wrong, just say that you're sorry. It won't kill you, it won't hurt you. If you appreciate them, thank you. I love you. These are very simple words or simple sentences that make a lot of difference in our lives. If you're egoistic, it will always be hard for you to say these things. So you watching, do work on it. Try to avoid them. If you can't, just try and minimize them. This is what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoy. And let me have your comments. Tell me what you think ego is, or your own opinion, your own experiences about life. And let's move on together and grow together. So thank you very much. And don't forget to subscribe.